Sup lads, welcome back to another video. Now today we're back in the doing the Premier League preview, the second instalment of this series, game week 4. Back from the international break now after a week hiatus from the Premier League, but no, we're back now to preview the Premier League show, I guess. Basically, if you didn't watch last week's episode, what it is, I'll go through all the games, previewing them and giving my predictions. And then at the end of the video, I'll go through my fantasy team, how it did in game week 3 and how I've changed it for game week 4. So, why not? Let's get straight into the predictions. The first game, the half-12 kickoff, Crystal Palace versus Spurs. Interesting game. This is a bit of a London derby, not really, but you know they're both from London, so technically I guess it is. Spurs top of the league, the only team to win 3 games out of 3. All 1-0s, but you can't argue with that. Nuno off to a fantastic start as Spurs manager. Meanwhile, Vieira in charge at Crystal Palace got off to a bit of a shaky start with a 3-0 defeat at Chelsea, but bounced back to 2 draws against West Ham last week, which is a great point. Conor Gallagher looked absolute class, getting 2 goals, and also got a point against Brentford the week before. So 2 points on the board, not too bad for Palace, but you can't see them getting anything here, I won't lie. I think Spurs will click into gear in this one. I think Kane's going to be playing. I'm not sure about Son, because apparently picked up a knock on international duty, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there, won't we? So I've gone for a 3-0 Spurs win. I think Kane will score, but I've gone for one to watch as Dele Alli. I think he's going to have a great season. If you watch my video on 10 bold predictions for 21-22 season before start of the season, I did say Dele Alli would find his way back into the England squad. So I do expect big things of him, and I will expect him to do well. So I'll put him as one to watch as one, as I've gone for a 3-0 Spurs win. Into the 3 o'clock kickoffs now. An interesting one to talk about first, Watford versus Wolves. Both teams, all right starts to the season. Watford obviously got that great win against Villa, but hasn't been great for them since. I believe they got 2 losses on the bounce. Not great, but you know, they were playing quite decent teams in those. So Wolves 3 defeats from 3. Only 2 other teams have managed that, but you know, they've all been 1-0 defeats, I think. So just been a bit unlucky at Man United on game week 3. They played quite well, I thought, and were unlucky not to at least get something out of that game. But for this one, I've gone for, a lot of people have gone for 0-0s, but I'll go for 1-0. I can see both teams kind of scoring. And from the watch, I've gone from Francisco Trincao, the Barcelona loanee at Wolves. I thought he played very well against Man United. So I would maybe expect to get a goal or assist. Another one as well, I think, would be Adama Traore to watch, I think. He's looked very promising in the first few games as well, apart from his finishing. So I think both those could be one to watches, and I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Brentford-Brighton, another bit of an interesting game. You know, both teams who have started very well off to the season. Brentford still unbeaten after 3 games. Meanwhile, Brighton 2 wins out of 3, not too bad at all. But I'm not sure. I think this will be a tight game. But I think I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going for a 1-1 draw again, just because I can't see either team just having that ruthless moment to win the game in the last 10-15 minutes. I think it will just end 1-1. I think it is going to be someone to be ruthless at the end. It's going to be Ivan Toney, who I have got down as the one to watch. I think he will score for Brentford today in the 1-1 draw against Brighton. Mate, I think that is going to be a very interesting game. Both teams like to play good attacking football, so that will be a good watch if you can actually watch 3 o'clock kickoffs on the telly. But if you are able to, I don't think people will be watching that one, because obviously there's a big game we're going to be able to talk about in a minute, which we'll get onto, not now, but as I said, in a minute. So the next game, Arsenal-Norwich, the relegation 6-pointer. Both teams, the bottom 2 teams in the league. Arsenal bottom, Norwich second bottom. You won't be able to see Arsenal bottom of the league for that long, will you? So you relish it whilst it lasts, because I think this will be their first point of the season. To be fair, Norwich, they've looked all right. They looked all right against Leicester in a narrow defeat. But I think Arsenal will just get a bit of an act together for this one. I think it'll be 2-0. It won't be pretty, I don't think, but they'll get the job done in a 2-0 win. I just think Norwich, I think they will go down. I think there's no debating that. They've had, to be fair, look at their run of fixtures to start the season. Liverpool, Man City and Leicester, you know, 3 of the top 5 teams last year. And Arsenal finished 8th last year. You know, we make fun of them for that, but to be fair, that's still a very decent finish. So I won for a 2-0 Arsenal win. I just think they can get the job done. I want to watch Emile Smith-Rowe. I think he'll have a good game. I think he'll be involved in both goals. It was a goal and assist, 2 goals, 2 assists. I think he'll be or maybe he'll be involved some way in a 2-0 Arsenal win. And the big game now, as the title's called, the return of Cristiano Ronaldo to the Premier League, whether he's going to start or he's going to come off the bench. Who knows? In this one, obviously, I've got him as the one to watch, but the thing is, Ronaldo, he will improve everyone around him. He will improve everyone around him because everyone looks up to him. He's one of the best footballers of all time. Come back to Man United legend, of course. And this will be an interesting game. But I've gone for a mega 3-0 Man United win. I think, depending on whether Ronaldo starts to come off the bench, I think if he starts, he'll definitely get a goal. I think Greenwood as well, one to watch. Get him in your fantasies. 3 goals in 3 games. And he should realistically still be playing after that record, despite Ronaldo coming in. So, 3-0 Man United win. It'll be easy. But I think I made a bit of a stupid decision in fantasy, which we'll get on to do with some Man United players. We'll get on to in a minute when we finished talking about all the games. Another interesting game next up, Southampton West Ham. West Ham will start the season great, but dropped points for the first time last week in the 2-2 against Crystal Palace. A game, to be honest, you'd expect them to be winning, but Conor Gallagher, brilliant, 2 goals, rescued a point for Palace. But West Ham, I don't know, a lot of people are saying maybe a shock Southampton win, and to be fair, Southampton have started the season quite well. Not the best results on the opening day against Everton, but 2 draws against 2 solid teams, Man United and Newcastle. That's good, and I think this will be a draw. As a Southampton fan, I might be being a bit optimistic with this one, but I've gone for a 1-1 draw. And one to watch, I think Adam Armstrong, I put him as the one to watch against the Newcastle game, won a late penalty, and he's been involved in 3 goals pretty much. Got a goal on his debut against Everton, pretty much got the assist for that Fred own goal against Man United, and won the penalty against Newcastle. So I think he'll be involved again in some way if Southampton do score. So I've gone for a 1-1 draw in that one. And the final 3 o'clock kickoff, a big game as well, Leicester v Manchester City. I don't know how this isn't on in Super Sunday or anything like that, or even the evening kickoff, but I think it was at the Etihad last year where Leicester destroyed Man City 5-2 early on in the season, but I still Leicester do tend to do well against the tougher teams. Again, beating Man City 5-2 last year. But I think this will be a good game. I think I've gone for a 2-2 draw, and one to watch definitely will be Jamie Vardy. I think he loves a goal against City, so do expect him to get on the score sheet in this one. And I just think City, they can be ruthless. We saw it back-to-back 5-0 wins against Norwich and Arsenal. But yeah, I think they'll be held quite easily in this one. I think they'll struggle. I think they'll get a bit frustrated, and I can see Leicester getting a point. I'll go for a 2-2 draw in this one. Evening kickoff, there's a lot of interesting games this week, I keep saying it, but Chelsea v Villa. Villa had a bit of an inconsistent start to the season, a draw against Brentford, a win against Newcastle, and a loss against Watford. So a bit of an inconsistent start to the season, but this is their first real test, I think, against a tough team in Chelsea. And Chelsea, great point against Liverpool last time out, despite being down to 10 men. To get a point at Anfield is great, let alone with 10 men for a whole half. But 2-0 Chelsea, and I've gone for routine. And one to watch, gone for Kai Havertz. I think he's had a great start to the season, and I think he'll be involved in at least one of the goals in some way, shape, or form. So I've gone for him as one to watch in this one. I think he'll have a very good game and a very dominant performance against Villa. So the one and only Super Sunday game, actually, which is quite interesting, but I'm pretty sure that's because the Champions League is kicking off on Tuesday and Wednesday. Leeds Liverpool, again, another good game, and this game will have goals. I think last season at Anfield on the first day of the season, it finished 4-3 to Liverpool, so goals galore. But I think Leeds, all right start to the season, not great, not bad, but they're picking up points here and there, which is not a good way to start the season. Obviously they didn't start the season off well with a 5-1 defeat to Man United, but again, just picking up points. They get a late equaliser against Burnley, a good draw against Everton, to pick these points up here and there, good results, and at least they're not losing. So, but I think this will be a defeat. I've gone for a 3-1 Liverpool win. Leeds will be tough to beat in front of a home crowd at Elland Road, but I do expect Liverpool to get the job done. And I think one to watch will be Mo Salah, who, if he gets a goal today, it'll be his 100th Premier League goal. Not to say it's tomorrow, isn't it? But if he gets a goal tomorrow, it'll be his 100th Premier League goal, making him, I think, one of the fastest players. I think definitely in the top 5 to get to 100 Premier League goals. So definitely one to watch out for there. And the final game, the Monday night kickoff, Everton Burnley. This screams a 0-0 or a 1-0 either side, and I have gone for a 1-0 Everton win. I just think Rafa Benitez, it's not pretty, neither with Sean Dyche, but I just think Everton will get the job done. They've had a good start to the season, they're grinding out results, and I think this will be another grinded result. I've gone for a 1-0 Everton win, probably Calvert-Lewin on the score sheet, but I have gone for one to watch is Demarai Gray. Fantastic start to the season. Already looks like one of the bargains of the summer, only arriving from about £1 million. So one to watch is definitely Demarai Gray. I think Everton will win 1-0 to continue their superb start to the season. So that was my preview on every game so far, but now we're going to go on to my fantasy team. And this is how it scored last week. You can see it on one of the sides of me right now. 65 points, not too bad at all. The average point is 54, so a lot better than last week. As you can see, good points from all round, especially Antonio as the captain. Great decision making from me, as you can tell. Greenwood, Salah all did well as well. Shaw and Digne as well at the back helped me out massively, but I have made a bit of an error. Well, I won't lie. After Ronaldo got transferred, I think, right, Bruno, he's not going to be taking penalties, he's not going to be taking free kicks. He's a big, valuable asset in my team. I spent a lot of money on him, so I did transfer him out. And I did bring in Son. This was before he got injured, and apparently he's not going to play anymore, so I've made a massive mistake in there, which is just a FPL rookie error, isn't it, really? And I do apologise for that if any FPL pros are watching this and probably thinking, what a muppet, but yeah, not great, is it? Decent point tally last week, but as you can tell from now, this it's not looking great this week, and I am probably going to lose my wild card next week, depending on how it does this week. I think I was debating on using it this week, but I just held back for a bit. And if it doesn't go to plan this week, which I can't, I think it's going to flop this week. I'm not going to lie. I am going to use my wild card. You know, we probably should get Ronaldo or Lukaku in there some way, shape or form. And I think also Wilson's now injured, and I think we have to get Ronaldo or Lukaku in there really now, or even Kane maybe. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? So yeah, thank you very much today, guys. This was the Game Week 4 Premier League preview, the return of Ronaldo. So I think he's going to play some way, shape or form, but we're just going to find out in what way, shape or form he's going to play, whether that's off the bench or starting. So remember to like if you enjoy as well, guys, and subscribe if you're new around here. 100 subscribers we're trying to get by the end of 2021. It's going to be very, very tight, so if you can get that and help towards that goal, that'll be greatly appreciated. So yeah, if the comments are unable, let me know, is Ronaldo going to bag on his second Man United debut? Let me know, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.
Got a premonition, I'm dreaming you and I. All my darkest fears are coming outside. We got a billion races, we got this melody, and you can trust me.